Hello everyone, today is February 19th, 2017, and as you can see we had a 6.3 magnitude earthquake in Uake, Argentina at 12 hours and 10 minutes UTC at a depth of 190 kilometers. This earthquake occurred when the longitude just passed the Earth-Moon resonance, and it also occurred a day after Venus had its closest approach to the Jupiter-Uranus resonance, which I discussed in detail in the previous forecast video. This 6 magnitude earthquake is the first 6-pointer in 8 days. So let's have a look at the EMC database and look at the last 4 weeks, roughly, from January 23rd to today, with minimum magnitude 6, and we see only 4 of them. This means that we had a 6-pointer per 7 days on average, which is low. Now if we compare the occurrence of these 6-pointers to the dynamics of the solar system, what we see is that they pretty much coincided with the planetary alignments or near alignments that we had in the same time frame. We see the first one on the 30th, which coincided with the Venus-Mercury-Saturn alignment also on the 30th. And this was just hours after that alignment was exact. Then we had one on the 7th and on the 10th, and they occurred around the time of the Sun-Mercury-Saturn alignment on February 8th. And then the latest one on the 18th was a day after Jupiter-Venus-Uranus was nearly exact, well within 2 minutes. And this demonstrates very well that we have earthquakes over 6 magnitude corresponding to planetary alignments in the solar system. We see the Moon here coming by facing the Venus-Jupiter and Jupiter-Uranus resonances. And when these resonances go along the backside of the Moon, we can have earthquakes over 6 magnitude, and that also caused a 6.3. It's now upgraded to 6.4 yesterday in Argentina. And in the coming days we see the Moon here firmly facing that resonance. This means that we can have 1 or 2 earthquakes over 6 magnitude in the next couple of days. However, the relatively quiet period that we've had so far will definitely end around February 24th. And this is because we're going to have 12 planetary alignments between February 24th and March 8th. And we can do a search here in Sol page to see what we're going to have. And as you can see, starting on February 24th up until March the 10th, we see 12 planetary alignments. And this is very much comparable to the 3 weeks in December, starting around December 6th to the 31st, when we had 15 planetary alignments, and that caused a significant seismic increase with 3 7-pointers up to 7.9. We're probably going to have a similar time frame from February 24th to March 8th. The first planetary alignments that we're going to have are all very close to the Earth. We see Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, Earth, Mars, Uranus, and Mars, Earth, Jupiter from the 24th to the 27th. And these planetary alignments are all on this side here, with Jupiter, Earth, Venus, Mars, and Uranus very close in an alignment. So if we go to the 24th, we see that they are much closer. And indeed, we see Venus, Mars, Uranus, and we have several combinations here with these 5 planets, which makes the last week of February a critical one, and we may definitely experience earthquakes well over 7 magnitude when these planetary alignments occur. Also in this time frame, we have a new moon and solar eclipse on the 26th towards 3 o'clock in the afternoon UTC. Earth, Moon, Sun, and this will also be a solar eclipse. While we have these critical planetary alignments in the last week of February, including a new moon and solar eclipse on the 26th, I don't think we are going to have a megafrost earthquake over 8 magnitude in this final week of February, even though Earth harmonics would allow for such a large earthquake from 24th to the 27th. But again, because of the new moon, I don't think that this is going to happen in the final week of February. Rather, I believe a megafrost earthquake is likely to occur in the first week of March, and that will be around this time on the 5th, possibly around the 5th of March. And this is because of some very critical alignments starting on March the 2nd, involving the gas giants. We see Earth, Sun, Neptune early on March 2nd as 2 hours and 45 minutes UTC, followed on the 2nd by Mercury, Sun, Venus, which is the second solar alignment. And then also on the 2nd, this is the third alignment, Jupiter, Earth, Uranus, late on the 2nd. This is definitely going to cause large seismic activity on our planet. How large exactly, I'm not sure. It could be multiple sixes, it could be up to 7.9, but we can also have, starting around the 4th, again, Earth, Mercury, Neptune, another planetary alignment, and then Sun, Mercury, Neptune, another solar alignment, and then Mercury, Sun, Earth, another solar alignment on the 7th. So we see some very critical planetary alignments up until March 8th. And because of the alignments with the gas giants on the 2nd of March, I believe that the possibility of a megafrost earthquake is highest starting on the 4th up until the 7th. But given the convergence of alignments on March the 2nd, I'd say that March the 4th, March the 5th are probably the most critical days for a possible megafrost earthquake. And I'm talking about an earthquake well over 8 magnitude, possibly even approaching or over 9 magnitude. This is not unlikely. If we go to the solar system scope and look at the planetary alignments that we're going to have around the 2nd here, we see Jupiter, Earth, Uranus, and we see Earth, Sun, Neptune. This is a very critical convergence of alignments, and we also see Venus, Sun, Mercury. So these are 3 planetary alignments in one day, 2 of which involve the Sun. It usually takes up to 2.5 days after the occurrence of the alignments. So we are talking about possibly the 4th, but we should see larger seismic activity on the 3rd already, and then on the 4th, possibly from the 4th to the 5th, and we see the Sun again in alignment here with Mercury and Neptune. So even then, the alignments are not over, but we did have the alignments with the gas giants, which are the most powerful in the solar system. So expect an earthquake over 8 magnitude to be on the safe side between March the 2nd and March the 7th, but I would really put emphasis on March 4 to March 5th. Generally, it is impossible to say where exactly a megafrost earthquake is going to occur or where large 7 magnitude earthquakes are going to occur, but if you look at Earthquake 3D, I believe the most critical areas for a megafrost earthquake over 8 magnitude are the Philippine Sea Plate, possibly up to Japan here, the Izu Trench, down to Indonesia, the Celebes Sea, the Flores Sea, Java here, and into the Sunda Trench. Another possible candidate for a megafrost earthquake is Chile, from central Chile up to Peru. And the third candidate, I believe, is the west coast of North America, the Cascadia subduction zone. This is also an area to keep in mind. This could be off the coast of Oregon or Northern California, but this is definitely an area to keep an eye on. So in general, in those 2 weeks, the last week of February and the first week of March, Again, everyone, because it is virtually, the Earth rotates in 24 hours, exposing all sides to planetary resonances. This makes it virtually impossible to say exactly where the next large earthquake will hit. So if you are in an earthquake-prone area, if you are somewhere along fault lines, subduction zones, make sure you have your earthquake plan ready. This is not a time to be afraid, but a time to be prepared. We have the dynamics of the solar system, and we know that large earthquakes are caused by planetary resonances when planets are in an alignment. And the last week of February and the first week of March will be a critical time frame, highly critical. Officially, let's have a look here at the EMC database. In the EMC database, we are going to select the last 3 years or so, and we select minimum magnitude 8, and what we see is that the last 2 earthquakes, yes, there were 2 of them, were from April the 1st, 2014, 8.1 in Chile, and on September 16th, an 8.3. Officially, the last 8 magnitude earthquake was in September 2015. This means that we are well within the window of the next megafrost earthquake, and the first week of March, in my opinion, is a very likely candidate for a very large earthquake. Also make sure to check out this website here on patreon.com. This is patreon.com/Ditrianum, because this is where I do all the small updates. Like I said here on the 15th, possible 6+ magnitude seismic activity in the coming days, and 3 days later indeed we had a 6.3 upgrade to 6.4. These type of updates are on this web page, so be sure to check that out as well.